Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel, Marriage and Medicine. So this week we wanted to kind of give just a little update on how things have been going now that we've fully finished a whole year of being, well, I haven't been, but TJ being and attending, and just kind of share what things have been like throughout this first year finishing. So don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe to our channel, and you can also follow us on our Instagram at Marriage and Medicine as well.
Yeah, so this year it's gone by fast. There's been so many ups, a few downs here and there, but mostly ups for the most part. So it's been a blessing altogether just having this first year under my belt. I've learned so much more. Again, I feel like during residency you learn a lot, but again, you're kind of working under the protection of other people. So they're only going to allow you to make but so many mistakes. They're usually going to catch everything that you're doing. But now on the other side, you're by yourself. Like, you are the end all basically. So you make the final decisions, and that's definitely a different feeling. But having this year, I've definitely grown to feel as though I'm pretty confident in my decision making. The residency that I went to also did a great job with just allowing me to grow, and has prepared me to be in this spot that I'm in today, which has definitely been a blessing for sure.
Yeah, and for me, I feel like this last year, not much has changed for me as far as my role. I still stay at home with Naya, but just the freedom to be able to do more things. Like, I feel like we've had a lot more time together, because there are less shifts than there was in residency. So that's been really good. Naya's enjoyed that a ton. We've gotten to do like just a lot more as a family, whether it's day trips or just going to do different little outings. So that's been really fun. And then also, of course, the financial part of it has been a lot better as well. That's once TJ graduated from residency, that was one thing I wanted to start doing, was trying to start taking better care of myself. So I've been able to do more of like going to, did I start the gym in residency?
Yeah, you did initially. No, you started that
afterwards. Okay,
yeah, you started that afterwards.
I signed up with a gym. I go to Orange Theory, and I've been doing that for the last year. So that's been really good to start doing that. And then going to get massages, that's just something as like a self-care thing that I started doing. And then recently, we just started doing like a meal prep thing where basically people will prepare meals for you and they deliver it to you. So just the freedom of having money to do these things, because in residency, like, that was not something that we could do. And I know there's people that say like, oh, residency's so hard, it's so hard, but then you see them like go take a trip out of the country, or they go to Disney World, or they bought a house, or they bought a BMW, or I don't know, just whatever. And then it's like, you're saying residency's hard, but I didn't get to do any of that stuff. So I'm like, I don't know, your heart and my heart are not the same type of hard. So it's just been nice to actually be able to do things and not stress so much about like, do we have enough money for this? Well, maybe we can wait till this point to do that. So that part has helped take a lot of the stress off for sure. Can't complain there.
It's been good there for sure. We've had a little bit of assistance with President Biden extending the loan forbearance thing. So we've kind of taken advantage of that in a sense of, instead of putting money towards loans for the moment, since they're at 0%, we decided to buy a house instead. Main reason is the housing market was going crazy, going bananas. And so we knew we wanted to have a house within the next couple of years. And just overall, we felt like this was the time to do it versus later on, because I feel like interest rates are, again, going to go crazy.
Yeah, the housing prices went up. Now.
Yeah, it's all getting much worse now. So for that reason, I think we made the right choice, and just going ahead and using that time, not going towards loans, to just pay off, or to build up emergency fund and all that stuff for a house, basically.
And there's no like penalty. You don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm not doing anything, but yet I'm still getting penalized for it. And so that's helped out a lot, because we can just focus on buying the house, but then also furnishing the house as well, without having to worry about like splitting between different things.
And so it's definitely been nice just being able to do certain things like that. It's just getting things when you first start your medical journey, you're just like, oh, I can't wait till I can do this. I can't wait till I can do this. And so finally getting to that end point it makes it all worth it. So for sure, for those that are in residency now, for those in medical school now, just understand it gets better. And that also goes along with it gets better, but you have to kind of make it that way. And what I mean by that is pick the right kind of job where you're not getting killed, like as if you're a resident. Pick a job where, again, you're going to be fairly compensated as well. And also just one that you're going to be happy altogether. Because, again, if you're not happy in the job that you're doing, all of this is going to be for nothing. You're going to burn out and it's just going to be bad. And so take that time to make sure that you're picking the right places and different things of that nature. So, like we said, with this year, there's been ups and there's been downs. We can't share the ups with not sharing downs as well. So, starting off, before I even started my job, I had plans of, I'm going to just kind of I had a little 2005 Toyota Corolla. I was just going to ride it for a while, basically. I was just going to stick with that car, not pay money for a new car until down the road. I was literally going into my orientation for my job that I was starting, and somebody rear-ended me. Car was totaled. And so now we had to buy a new car. Or not necessarily a new car, a used car.
Newer.
A newer car. Yeah.
New to us.
New to us, exactly. And so that was definitely something that was not planned. Again, I had ideas of doing all kind of other things, but again, you deal with what you got to do. Basically, you just deal with the cars that's dealt to you. And so we ended up having to get a new car.
It worked out at a good time because it's like if that had happened during residency, I think we would have just been sharing a car for a little while until I don't know when that would have been able to get fixed. So it sucked because it was like before you ever got paid for anything, but at the same time it's like, okay, I know money is coming, so we can do this knowing that we'll be able to afford to do it after a little bit. But it was just like, really?
Yeah, terrible
on
time.
Orientation day? Like, this is the way to welcome me in?
Basically. So that was one of the downs. One of the other downs, of course. So as you guys know, some of you may know, I took my board exam. So, of course, once you become an attending, you take board exams to become official in terms of officially licensed and all that kind of stuff for kind of the long-term permanent route, basically.
And then you technically have like 5 years
within
your first 5 years to get board certified.
Right. And so I took the test, I think it was in October, November or something like that. I missed the cutoff by 1 point. And that hurt me bad. It was like, really? 1 point? And you kind of think about it, and it's like maybe a 5-question spread. 3 to 5 question spread. If you would have got a couple more questions right, you would have got that 1 point. You would have been good. But again, the good thing about it is it sucks, yes. But ultimately, it doesn't really change much. You get to basically study again and take it again next year, which is great. So
that's coming up.
That's coming up too. Yeah, I went ahead and applied for that in November again, and I'm gonna take care of business this time for sure. It sucked. I mean, it's one of those situations. Everybody kind of goes through something in your life that's like you thought you did good, you thought you studied for it. I'm like, I'm doing a Rosh review. I'm like, I'm good. Like, there's like, 97% chance of passing. I'm good to go. And then I miss it by 1 point. You can't really prepare yourself for those kind of things, but all you can do is just kind of move forward. I mean, everything has always happened for a reason, and so you kind of stick with that same mindset, and there's always been positives that's always come out of these kind of negative type of events, for me at least. So you just kind of stay positive in these kind of events.
And I mean, I don't feel like you said, it didn't change anything. No. It didn't change pay. Pay is still the same.
Missed out on a little bit of pay, but whatever.
Yeah, it didn't change anything like in our relationship or anything. I feel like in a way it helped because, I don't know, maybe had you passed the first time around, like, I don't think we would have done the mentorship that we've been doing this year. We've tried to do one every month for the first 6 months of the year, and I feel like that probably would not have happened had things gone differently. But then too, also around that time is kind of where we really decided that like we wanted to go ahead and move forward with buying a new build house. And so at that point we had already signed the paperwork, but they started building the house shortly after that. And so over this time we could kind of just focus on that and not worrying about like preparing for the next exam or preparing, say if the exam were to come back up in a few months. Like, this gave us the time to just really focus on the house, be excited for that, to save up for that, all of that. So I felt like it was just good timing. I mean, yes, of course, it sucks, but in a way it worked out to where we can just focus on this, get all that taken care of, and then right after we close and all that's done, just shift back to studying for that.
Yeah, studying, and of course I have more time to study. It'll just kind of be a more, we'll get it done for sure.
Something else we got to do throughout this first year was just do more trips. So not necessarily like out of the country or anything fancy like that, but just trips in general. Like I got to go to Disney World for the first time.
She was
finally.
More excited than our 3-year-old.
Yeah, I've never been, and I'm 30, so like that was a big deal for me. That was really exciting. And then of course we've made trips like to both of our families or them coming here. A little bit more, and just random day trips to a place or weekend trips to somewhere local. Just again, this is stuff that we could not do while we were in residency, and so just being able to finally get to do those things, even though it may not seem like, oh, they're these big grand whatever, it's just making more memories and making more experiences. Again, just stuff that we couldn't do before. So
right, and it's all basically Naya is just loving all of it. I mean, she's getting to like yesterday we took her to do putt-putt for the first time for her, or second time I think, but first time she's actually able to participate, I would say, and she was just having a blast. I mean, just hitting that little ball all over the place, and just just different things like that. It's all about for me for sure. This whole experience has been about being able to allow experiences for my family, and that's the most beneficial thing about having the income that I do, as well as having the profession that I do. It just allows time for family and allows the ability to have them experience things all together, and that's what I always wanted growing up as well. When I kind of pictured what kind of husband I was going to be in the future, as well as what kind of family, what kind of things I would like, this is it for me, and so I'm kind of just basking in that thought right there. So it's nice.
So if you are someone who is married to someone in medicine or dating or whatever your relationship status may be, just know that eventually once you get to the other side and you're finally finished and done, everything will be worth it. Things do get better as far as time and finances. I mean, just overall, I feel like everything gets better. It'll open up for a lot more different things maybe than what you're used to in residency. And so I know it's redundant to say always like, just hold on, but like
that's
literally
the whole journey.
Yeah. Once you get to the other side, you're like, oh, finally, like this is what I've always been waiting for, like being able to do certain things, whether they seem small or big, but just once you get there, you'll realize that everything was worth it and all the stress and loneliness was worth it. Now, hopefully it's like that for all specialties, because I know some can be a little bit more taxing than others still, but overall, I feel like for most specialties, once you get to the finish line and you're finally done, that just in general, things will be a lot more better and a lot more lax for you as a family.
Yeah. And if you're currently a resident, currently a medical student, again, as we always have said, it does get better on the other side. Really, if you're in your residency and you're kind of nearing the end of your residency and you're looking forward to that first year out, take that last year to make sure that you kind of figure out what your weaknesses are. Because again, once you're in that first year and you're by yourself, again, you can't bounce things off of other attendings, but it is you. So make sure that you try to figure out those weaknesses. Everybody has them. Point them out and work on them so that you're ready for when it comes to that year out when you're by yourself for the first time. And so you're not in a situation where you find yourself not knowing what to do. Just kind of make sure that you look for those kind of things throughout this last year. But overall, again, it does get better, and just hang in there. Continue to work, and you're going to get there. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Feel free to subscribe, as well as follow us on Instagram at Marriage and Medicine. We'll see you guys in the next one.